Wednesday the 22nd of November, 2023. First reading. Reading from the second book of Maccabees. There were 7 brothers who were arrested with their mother. The king tried to force them to taste pig's flesh, which the law forbids, by torturing them with whips and scourges. But the mother was especially admirable and worthy of honorable remembrance, for she watched the death of 7 sons in the course of a single day, and endured it resolutely because of her hopes in the Lord. Indeed, she encouraged each of them in the language of their ancestors. Filled with noble conviction, she reinforced her womanly argument with manly courage, saying to them, I do not know how you appeared in my womb. It was not I who endowed you with breath and life. I had not the shaping of your every part. It is the Creator of the world, ordaining the process of man's birth and presiding over the origin of all things, who in his mercy will most surely give you back both breath and life, seeing that you now despise your own existence for the sake of his laws. Antiochus thought he was being ridiculed, suspecting insult in the tone of her voice. And as the youngest was still alive, he appealed to him not with mere words, but with promises on oath to make him both rich and happy if he would abandon the traditions of his ancestors. He would make him his friend and entrust him with public office. The young man took no notice at all, and so the king then appealed to the mother, urging her to advise the youth to save his life. After a great deal of urging on his part, she agreed to try persuasion on her son. Bending over him, she fooled the cruel tyrant with these words, uttered in the language of their ancestors, My son, have pity on me. I carried you 9 months in my womb and suckled you 3 years, fed you and reared you to the age you are now and cherished you. I implore you, my child, observe heaven and earth, consider all that is in them, and acknowledge that God made them out of what did not exist, and that mankind comes into being in the same way. Do not fear this executioner, but prove yourself worthy of your brothers, and make death welcome, so that in the day of mercy I may receive you back in your brothers' company. She had scarcely ended when the young man said, What are you all waiting for? I will not comply with the king's ordinance. I obey the ordinance of the law given to our ancestors through Moses. As for you, sir, who have contrived every kind of evil against the Hebrews, you will certainly not escape the hands of God. Responsorial Psalm. I shall be filled, when I awake, with the sight of your glory, O Lord. Lord, hear a cause that is just. Pay heed to my cry. Turn your ear to my prayer. No deceit is on my lips. I shall be filled, when I awake, with the sight of your glory, O Lord. I kept my feet firmly in your paths. There was no faltering in my steps. I am here and I call. You will hear me, O God. Turn your ear to me. Hear my words. I shall be filled, when I awake, with the sight of your glory, O Lord. Guard me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. As for me, in my justice I shall see your face, and be filled, when I awake, with the sight of your glory. I shall be filled, when I awake, with the sight of your glory, O Lord. Gospel acclamation. Alleluia, alleluia. Whenever anyone obeys what Christ has said, God's love comes to perfection in him. Alleluia. Gospel. Reading from the book of Luke. While the people were listening, Jesus went on to tell a parable, because he was near Jerusalem and they imagined that the kingdom of God was going to show itself then and there. Accordingly he said, A man of noble birth went to a distant country to be appointed king and afterwards return. He summoned 10 of his servants and gave them 10 pounds. Do business with these, he told them, until I get back. But his compatriots detested him and sent a delegation to follow him with this message, We do not want this man to be our king. Now on his return, having received his appointment as king, he sent for those servants to whom he had given the money, to find out what profit each had made. The first came in and said, Sir, your 1 pound has brought in 10. Well done, my good servant. He replied, Since you have proved yourself faithful in a very small thing, you shall have the government of 10 cities. Then came the second and said, Sir, your 1 pound has made 5. To this one also he said, And you shall be in charge of 5 cities. Next came the other and said, Sir, here is your pound. I put it away safely in a piece of linen because I was afraid of you. For you are an exacting man. You pick up what you have not put down and reap what you have not sown. You wicked servant, he said, out of your own mouth I condemn you. So you knew I was an exacting man, picking up what I have not put down and reaping what I have not sown. Then why did you not put my money in the bank? On my return I could have drawn it out with interest. And he said to those standing by, Take the pound from him and give it to the man who has 10 pounds. And they said to him, But, sir, he has 10 pounds. I tell you, to everyone who has will be given more, but from the man who has not, even what he has will be taken away. But as for my enemies who did not want me for their king, bring them here and execute them in my presence. When he had said this, he went on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. Gospel of the Lord.